Hey everyone, welcome to Brands on Brands on Brands. Today we talk about LinkedIn. 5 things you should update on your profile today while you still have a job. Check it out. Hey everyone, welcome to Brands on Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer. I believe that building brands today that matter to consumers is the only way for a business to thrive tomorrow. Check it out. If you want to know more about me and this is your first time listening, go to my website, brandonbrands.com, download your free online branding checklist, check out my content, subscribe, and each week I'll bring to you the latest on branding and marketing. Now let's jump into the episode. LinkedIn, 5 things that you should update on your profile today while you still have a job. Yeah, I said it. Who knows when that next turn is going to happen for you personally, for the economy in general. Not trying to scare you. I'm just saying now is the time to be taking care of your reputation online. And the first place people look for you online when you are trying to find a job is LinkedIn. And it's not always going to sync up perfectly. When you're looking may not be when someone's looking for you or for that perfect position. So sometimes that perfect job comes up and you are maybe a month out from being ready for it, but you should be found anyway. They should be coming out of the woodwork to find you because you're the perfect fit. And the easiest time to find a job is when you have a job. So making yourself always attractive to that next job is the way to go. But I think people go about it the wrong way. And we're going to talk about some of that today with these 5 things and also just some of the best practices, how to make sure that you are representing and showing up the best way possible. Now, we've all been guilty of it. If you have a job in corporate America, you've probably waited until you were jobless to update your resume in your LinkedIn profile. And today is the day to stop doing that. Today's the day to take that step forward to make those updates. Stop wasting your valuable opportunities. Build your personal brand today, thrive tomorrow. That means investing in your relationships, elevating your reputation, telling your story, and selling your skills. Too often we use LinkedIn as an outdated resume. And when we think of resumes and sites like LinkedIn, we only use them to share our job experience. It's not unique. It doesn't help us. We're not giving ourselves the credit we deserve most of the time. And that's what's most unfortunate. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. And I think that's the biggest thing most of us have trouble with is figuring out how to tell our story, what our business, our professional story is online in a way that actually matters to the actual person looking for the job. So if you want to leverage your opportunities today and the ones that are coming down the road for you, here are the 5 things that you should start doing. I'll list them out for you and then I'll dive deep individually. Number 1, look forwards, not backwards. Number 2, make yourself approachable. Number 3, use your intro to introduce yourself. Number 4, start writing. And number 5, build new relationships. So let's jump into it. Number 1, look forward, not backward. Even if you've done a great job capturing the value you provided to your previous employers, you're still looking backwards. The bios often read like a bad summary of those past experiences, peppered in with some objectives or current job titles. So stop looking backwards. And here's how you do that. The best thing you can do with your profile on LinkedIn is talk about what you are doing right now as if you were speaking directly to the customers of your current company. Let me say that again. The best thing you can do on LinkedIn right now is talk about your current job as if you were speaking directly to customers about what your business is selling right now. For example, if you're a manager at a retail store, talk about what makes that store unique and why customers love it. Tell stories of real customers you've interacted with and how happy they were doing business with you. Tell a story. Talk about what's new this time of year, what's in season, what you're excited about right now. Pretend it's your business. Talk about it as if every customer was reading this profile right before they walked in the door and met you. What would they want to hear? How could you help them go from undecided to decided and wanting to make a purchase and be a loyal customer of that store? Get them excited. Tell a story. And now every time someone comes across your profile that you're connected with, they'll know exactly what you do. And more importantly, they'll see the kind of value that you bring to your company right now. And maybe they'll think, that's the kind of person I want working for me and helping my business along, just like they did for that company. Now you're acting like an advocate of the business rather than just an employee, and that's what potential employers are looking for in their new hires. Number 2, make yourself approachable. This should be obvious, but you have to make people want to say hello to you. Too many profiles on LinkedIn are not very inviting and leave out critical information about the users themselves. Think of your LinkedIn profile as an invitation. It should help people understand what you can do for them and how to connect with you. That simple. What you can do for them and how to connect with you. You need to include all of the core elements. This includes a profile picture, your contact information, some reasons to connect with you. But covering the basics is not as easy as it sounds. Here's why. A profile picture, for example. Your profile picture isn't automatically visible to people outside of your immediate network. The site makes you go out of your way to make your profile and then separately your profile picture visible to the public. Your settings need to be changed in 2 different places for it to work. First, when you click on your profile settings, you need to make it visible to everyone. And when you click on your profile picture to update it, you'll be able to find a button to make that visible to everyone as well. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can Google that, or you can go read my article on it on the blog on brandonbrands.com, where I show pictures and visuals on how to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be showing up on LinkedIn as just a little invisible egghead without an actual picture, even though you've gone through the trouble of putting a nice profile picture on there. You want to represent yourself beyond your immediate connections to all those people that you haven't met yet, because that's most likely who's going to be your next employer. Number 3, use your intro to introduce yourself. Many people are using LinkedIn profiles and that intro area as a quick summary of their work history, and maybe they add a blurb about what they're looking for in their next job, but unfortunately, no one wants to read that. Your LinkedIn profile should try to be an introduction to someone. So think about who's looking at these profiles. Yes, it's HR people and recruiters and people like that, but that's not the way you should write it. It should be written as if you're introducing yourself to your next potential customer of the company you're at, not your next potential employer. I don't know how many profiles I've seen that say, I am such and such, I'm great at this, I work here, and this is the type of job I'm looking for. That probably worked back in the day before these sites got popular, before you could search anything about anyone online. But these days, what they want to see is what you're doing right now. So you should be introducing yourself to customers. This is what I do at the company right now. This is what I love about it. This is why you should shop here. Employers don't want to see that you're trying to jump ship, because it doesn't make it look like you're going to stick around at their current company any longer than you have to. So think about this. When you meet someone you can potentially do business with, what's the first thing you tell them about you and the company you currently work for? Tell them who you are, how you and your company help people, and then be specific. Talk about the few things that will benefit potential customers the most and why people love you. That's how you do it in person. That's how you should be doing it online. You don't go up to someone, shake their hand and say, hey, I'm Brandon, I'm looking to find a job here. You say, hey, I'm Brandon, this is what I do right now and I'm great at it. This is why if you know anyone that needs this kind of thing, you should refer them to me. That's how you should work online, just like you do in person. Now, if you're following me on this journey, you may be asking yourself the question, why? Why is it more important to frame this against a customer instead of against an HR recruiter? Well, because when you have a job, the recruiters want to see that you're doing everything you can to grow your company's business. Then you will be demonstrating that type of value that you can bring to a company instead of just talking about it. You're actually showing it. You're showing them, this is how I present myself. This is how I take my job seriously. This is how I go and get customers for anyone that I work for. And when you're done introducing yourself, provide a next step. You have to let people know right there in the introduction how to contact you and what to contact you about and where they can find you on social media and any links to your current work or your current company's website. So again, contact information, where they can find you on social media, links to your current work or your current company's website. And if you have your own website, great, list that too. Then you can get a little bit more personal. But before that, show all the work that you're doing, because they'll want to see that. And that's what is going to impress them, is all that current work that you're doing. Number 4, and this is a hot one on the list for me because it's something I didn't realize until a lot later in the process, was you need to start writing. Number 4, start writing. Today, you should start writing. Today, you should get that pen and paper out, get your computer out, however you like to work, start writing something. Write posts, write articles, write things that you can use to share and connect with other people online. On LinkedIn especially, posts right now are how you interact with people. And every time someone likes your posts, that post gets shared with other people on LinkedIn and they get introduced to you via your contacts. So write something engaging that people are going to want to hear. If you want to get more in depth, write an article, show that thought leadership, show how you can educate customers about the work that you do. And as that information gets shared, people get to see the kind of work you do, the kind of way you think. They see that thought leadership. They see that you are someone that takes your business seriously. And as that information gets shared, people start to notice who you are and you're building a reputation. You can start by writing posts that share a very quick blurb as commentary on other people's articles relevant to your industry. And then you can work your way up to picking a few topics related to your current job and writing about those. They can be glimpses into your current job that you do daily, or how-to articles, or things you're learning along the way. Basically anything you think is going to help that customer. I can't emphasize it enough. Now is the time to start developing a voice within your industry. Every person's perspective is unique and everyone's history and style is personal, which makes it valuable. You are the sum of your own experiences and you're the only one that's had those experiences. So share that in your voice. Practice writing and practice posting, because over time you'll get better at it and you'll start to understand how to express your opinions about your business. Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. Everything you post, everything you write should be professional. This is LinkedIn. This is where people expect content to be professional. You're not here sharing a beer with your buddies, talking about the things that you love and your personal opinions. You're sharing your perspective, something that is valuable to your industry. So do it in a professional way. Do it in a way that doesn't get you in trouble. Anything that's protected by your company that should be proprietary, keep it proprietary. You can share the things that you're learning and the experiences that you have. You have to do it in a way that protects your business's self-interest, because no one wants to take on a liability. So when you think about it, you have to put something out there that's professional, that respects the company that you're at currently, and protects your clients' information if you have clients. If you're unsure, use your judgment or talk to your current employer and ask them about something that you're writing that you want to share. Make sure it's not uncomfortable for them or inappropriate for the business, or sharing something that you shouldn't be sharing. Just get on the same page. And as you're writing and changing and growing, the best part is you're writing and creating content and your current connections are starting to get to know you a little bit better. You're building that reputation one brick at a time. You're introducing yourself to new people who may want to connect with you in the future. Maybe your next job or client is sitting out there right now, ready to stumble upon your next article or post. At very least, you should give yourself that chance, that opportunity. Number 5, build new relationships. It is a social network. Although it's professional, it is still a social network in general. People may not be using it like that as much as they should, but it is changing, and it is where you can develop relationships that are new. They don't just have to be people you are currently working with or have worked with in the past. This can be a place that you network and meet new people and get to know people that have like-minded interests that are in your industry or business. So the best thing you can do right now is invest time into those relationships that you already have. And then a close second is to start cultivating those new ones. So many people make a connection over the course of their career and then neglect it after they change jobs. Think about all the people you're working with right now. When you change jobs, are you going to keep contact with them? Did you do it at the last job, or did you lose that relationship? I've done it. I'm guilty of it. I've had amazing relationships with top-level CMOs and directors of marketing, and I've lost those relationships because I didn't maintain them over time because the job was done, or I changed careers, or I changed companies, and I couldn't think of a good reason to keep those relationships going, but I should have. I should have been checking in just like you should have. You should keep those connections warm, because over time, you may be able to help them. They may be able to help you. Either way, you're both coming along in the same industry, and you never know when those connections could be valuable to either of you, and you may need each other along the way. And you've already built that relationship, so you should keep supporting it. What's great about old relationships is they understand how you work. They make great references. Your best references and your best referrals will always be the people you've built trust with in the past. So keep those people in a relationship with you. Yes, it takes work to nurture those relationships. After the work partnership is ended, it's going to be especially hard, but you have to be the one to find the way to do that. You can come up with your own strategy, but you should figure out how often you want to say hello to those old contacts and what you want to say to them that's valuable. And you can make yourself a schedule, but try not to let it fall off your radar. And the way to keep yourself honest about that is to make a schedule and set reminders for yourself to do that person by person. It could be just every 6 months or once a year if it has to be. It should be more than once a year, but if it only is once a year, at least you're doing something. Reach out, say hello, ask them if they're doing well, whatever it is. Check in, have a genuine curiosity about how those people are doing and what they need, and see if you can help. What's great is if you pay attention, you start to notice that little things like milestones in people's careers, certain times of year, there happen to be things to talk about all the time because either you're changing jobs or they're changing jobs, or someone gets promoted, or something at the company happens that's worth noting. All along the way, there are little things that are obvious to talk about. They don't have to make it awkward. It could just happen because of that event that you can use to strike up a conversation. And when you do this, you're showing that connection, that you value that relationship, even when you don't need something from them. The hardest thing to do is when you finally need something to go and ask people for it when you haven't talked to them for years. But if you've shown them along the way that you value that relationship, even when you don't need something, that's someone who's going to want to reciprocate when you do need help and be there for you if they can provide it. But even more important, the best thing you can do is to look out, keep your eyes out for what other people need. See how you can help others along the way, because those are seeds that you'll be planting. Figure out what you can do for others, and later on, not that you should expect it, but later on, who knows, that person may have something that you could use in the future as well. It doesn't matter. The more seeds you plant, the more people you help, the more options you have when you need help yourself. You have to dig the well, as they say, before you are thirsty. Another way to interact with people on LinkedIn is to interact with the content that's going on in the feed. You might have some contacts that are more active than others within LinkedIn itself, and they're putting out content, they're writing their comments, their shares, their posts. And the best thing you can do is listen. Get out there, see what they're talking about, interact, engage, comment, like, try to do more than like, try to actually think about what they're saying and comment on it. And then as these people are being active and you're showing engagement, you're naturally building a relationship. You don't even have to try as hard because they've opened the door. They've sent an invitation with their content saying, engage with me along the way. This is an easy way for you to talk to me and stay a part of my network and my relationship. Listening is so key to those relationships. And what's great is you can even listen to conversations that are with people that are not directly connected to you. You can look up keywords for things that you're interested in, for industries that you're connected to, follow conversations that are happening on LinkedIn within that space. And then as you're commenting and liking, those people that you're actually interacting with can start to become new relationships with you, relationships that you did not have before, but you became bonded over a common conversation and a common topic of interest. And who knows, that online contact could someday become a in real life relationship, someone that you actually meet because your paths crossed enough that you're like, let's actually say hello to each other. We have a lot in common. Let's go out in there and meet. And that's an even bigger way to strengthen a new relationship. Yeah, I realize it. All 5 of these things are a lot of work. They take effort, but not as much as you think. You could set yourself reminders each week or each couple weeks to check in and do a list of things so that you are out there maintaining active relationships with these people. That effort will pay off. You have to be consistent. You have to interact, but it's a lot easier to find a small block of time each week than to start hitting everyone up when you're unemployed. Now is the time. If you only reach out to people when you need something, and you never add value, those people are not going to be inclined to help you. And at the end of the day, it's just the right thing to do. When you're succeeding in life, you should be out there finding ways to share that with others. It feels good, it's the right thing to do, and it always comes back to you. That's all I got for you today. I hope you found some of those notes useful. My 5 quick tips on what you should be doing on LinkedIn today while you still have a job. If you have other things that you've seen work for you or people around you, add them to the comments, share this post with others. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you want to keep getting content like this, you have to subscribe, get notified each week as each new episode of the podcast drops. Make sure that you are listening And you can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter to make sure that you get all the content that I put out there. Some of it's written, some of it's in the podcast. A lot of valuable information, but it's shared across different formats. I put that all into my newsletter so that you can see what's going on in the world of branding and marketing. Hope you like it. Check it out. Talk soon.